Hello, any replayers? Welcome. And if you're a replayer, you can tap, tap, tap on the screen for hearts. And you can also invite your followers, share on Twitter. If any of this content's helpful to you and you think you know somebody that could use some more money talk in their life, feel free to share with them. All right. Good morning. And I realized about 15 minutes ago that I had to be on this Periscope. So I had to make a call, and I got in the shower and I got out real quick. So a little bit of a mess. Hello and good morning, Sunday. And if you are new to me, my name is joannazarach. I scope every single day, 7 days a week, on money habits. Why 7 days a week? Because money doesn't sleep and money doesn't rest. So I want to reinforce your good money habits every single day and share my money habits, money management, money tips with you guys. So one of the things that's been on my mind for a long time, but this morning I'm wondering, what am I going to talk about in my scope? And I keep coming back to this list of 5 big money things that I've talked about in the past, and I think I really want to get back to breaking it down for every single one and really talking about that. But before I get into the list of 5, it's one of the things that comes out time and again when I talk to other people in person, when I say, why is it that, I talk about what I like doing, that I like helping people manage, figure out a money plan. A lot of people say, I just don't like thinking about it. I'm worried. It's causing me anxiety. Money is a major source of anxiety for people and worry. And what I'm trying to get people to understand is that when you start paying attention to your money, your anxiety will decrease, right? So this step, the taking control and learning about it and getting out of the mindset of I don't know how, I don't know anything about taxes, I don't know anything about how to increase my income, I don't know anything about investments, all of those things that you tell yourself, that'll be true. So start telling yourself that I am capable of learning something. And I give everybody a starting point on all of those things. And it's up to you to take that step and look into your financial life. So the difference, you're always going to worry about money if you're really not paying attention to it. So as we are in tax season, right? One of the things I really emphasize for people in the U.S., because it's tax season and W-2 forms are coming out, they're due to come out by the end of the month, is first of all, when you get that W-2, don't just ignore it. Really look at it, spend time with it, right? Set a timer for 5 minutes. Because this is your income. For most people, for majority of people, a W-2 is sort of a reflection of how they did in the year. So I want you to spend 5 minutes, set a timer for 5 minutes of your life, to study your W-2 statement. Look at each box. Maybe you don't need to Google it if you don't know what's in it. If you've never looked at your W-2 form, today is a good time. And again, if you're just looking, look at the numbers, right? If you really still overwhelmed by your W-2, take each number, write it down on a different piece of paper, right? Do something with your W-2 for 5 minutes, but look at it, keep it in front of you. That's a first step to really paying attention to your money when it comes to income, right? So income's one, and immediately after, because if you're looking at your W-2, you're looking at taxation. Start understanding all of the components of the taxation system, right? And again, more familiar with the U.S. system, but I think some are similar. Look at all the taxes. Even if you have someone else do your taxes for you, look at every single number in your tax return before you sign. So again, spend 5 minutes. If you're new to it, right? If you're new to paying attention to your money, start setting yourself a time limit, at the minimum time limit of which you're going to spend the time focusing on it or paying attention to it. So income, number 1. Tax and tax strategies, number 2. Third is investments. Okay, if you're not an active investor, you need to start exercising your investing muscle, which means you need to learn. If you have a 401k, it means you're already an investor. Now you may be kind of a not well-educated investor, but you are an investor. So if you have a 401k, spend 5 minutes, right? This is why this Money Habits is all about developing habits, and habits are just small steps that you take every day. So for investments, spend 5 minutes with whatever investment. It doesn't matter how small it is. If you don't have anything in investments, spend 5 minutes figuring out, can I set up an IRA with Vanguard, for example? What will it take, right? If you don't have the money or if you don't have the plan, figure out what would it take for you to become an investor. Read an article, look up your favorite ticker, something. Do something a little bit. Big purchases. That's, again, when you're on your way to make a big purchase. And big purchases, I was thinking about this morning. I think we always think of big purchases as items, like a house or a car. And the other things, though, like education is a big purchase. And I think people need to start paying attention to the services that we buy. Education, by the way, is a service. And so think about anything big. Big ticket item is anything over, for some people, big ticket items, anything over $1,000, but definitely something over $10,000. I want you to spend the time thinking about it, doing the numbers, put it on a spreadsheet. And then finally, risk management is how will your family or how will you fare if something happens to you, and how have you mitigated that risk? So again, spend the time on that. So that's just breaking it down for people, how to move from worrying about money to thinking about money, and why the two are very different. So I think a lot about money. I was thinking to myself, I read probably like 10 to 20 personal finance articles every single day. Every single day I read this because why? I really like it. I enjoy learning more. Like maybe it's just like some of the stuff, it's reinforcement, right? Like I know the stuff, I read it, there's somebody else's opinion on it, how they manage it, like the frugal people, I like investors, I learn something from everybody. So I read a lot of personal finance articles. Usually I just get one little nugget out of it, but sometimes I come across someone else that's maybe at a different stage of their financial freedom, and I can learn something from them, and it reinforces what I do and what I think. So that's the message for Sunday. How are you going to savor it when you're thinking about money versus worrying about money? You're very much empowered, and your decision-making process becomes different. But to get from the worrying to the thinking, I challenge you guys to do these 5-minute exercises where you just really spend 5 minutes paying attention to it. And again, the 5 big money areas that people need to pay attention to that they don't is, one is having where's your income coming from, and having an income plan or having an understanding of your income over time, whether it's past or future or present. Spend 5 minutes thinking about it. Tax strategy. Tax season, so very important that you start paying attention to your taxes. Again, you don't have to be a tax guru overnight, but if you don't look at your tax return this year or last year or next year, right, like you're gonna have to start somewhere. So 5 minutes on your tax return, even if you don't fill it out. By the way, if you have someone else fill it out, I challenge you to if you're unsure, go on TurboTax.com, and I know that they have a lot of you can start it, and without filing it, I don't think you have to even pay for it, and play around with it. Let's say, what would it take for me to fill this out? And if you're, if you want to challenge yourself and fill it out, and then have it in your back pocket and see what the tax return person that you use, what will they do, right? It'll help you understand and gain confidence in perhaps doing it yourself. And at the very least, it'll tell you where the areas are, where the sources of tax deductions are. Investments, again, everyone's going to become an investor. And the sooner you start learning about investments, the better off you will be. Big purchases, number 4, and risk management, number 5. So thank you for joining, everyone who did join today. My name is Joanna. I'm on every single day, 7 days a week, at 10 a.m. Central Time, talking about money habits. Why? Because money doesn't sleep, and when a habit is something you do every day. And I do also, started this year, I'm 4 in, Money Matters, when I dive in depth about a money topic. Again, just trying to get some basics out there, breaking down the barriers for people to talk about money, to learn about money, and to manage their money. Making money social, that's really what I want to do, and want to impact people in a positive way when it comes to finances. So follow me if you're not following, if you're interested in getting the notifications to make sure that you replay or it's in your replay feed. And now if you know on Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, especially if you want to ask any questions that you don't get a chance to ask, you can message me on Twitter, you can tweet at me, and then you can also, I think you can now watch this Periscope in the live Twitter feed, which is pretty cool. That's only like the last week or so. So you can find me there as well. But anyhow, I wish you all a great rest of the Sunday. If you're in the Midwest, it is frigid. Stay indoors today. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow. Monday, we're back to our work week. Even though tomorrow is a holiday, Monday we're going to be talking about mint, because we always talk about mint on Monday. So thanks again, and I will see you tomorrow.